Kathleen Staten with Ars Lyrica, and I'm sitting down center stage with Leia Lensing today, mezzo-soprano. Leia, thanks so much for joining us. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm out in the country, hoping I have enough internet connection.
It doesn't look a lot like Houston. Tell us where you are today.
I'm currently out in Solon, Iowa, which is where I grew up, and I'm at my grandparents' lovely house that I actually grew up next door to. So that's my current home base for now.
And how long will you be in Iowa?
Undetermined amount of time, but I will be taking some lofty chunks away to go to New York and some other places that I can't talk about yet.
Ooh, a teaser.
Yeah, top secret.
Well, we do know that there is a finite amount of time before you join us in Houston.
Yes. Very excited to come back.
So what is it about Bach that you like so much?
I think there is, depending on the different type of movements. I started as a choral singer in Bach in college. I was a part of an ensemble that would do 4 Bach cantatas a year, and we always had to do the fugues and the choral movements. And so I think that intrigued me because I really love learning difficult music, especially music that's accessible to my ear, but that it takes a lot of hard work to learn. And that is like the definition of Bach to me. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at first. But then once you learn it, it's like, it almost is like you're part of a top secret club. Like you're in the cool kids once you learn Bach, is kind of what it feels like to me when I'm unlocking it. And I think that was my gateway into Handel as well.
Wow, so it's that combination of cerebral and physical and musical then for you.
Totally. I'm a big head musician, almost to a fault. You can't perform this music the way it's meant to be performed if you don't do all the work of finding the blueprint, knowing everything that the music has given you. You can't play unless you have done all that work. That's what I like about it too.
Yeah, it's truly from the ground up, from the continuo up. We have to start there.
Yes.
So one of the fascinating things, of course, about this concert coming up, this Bach Handel Hercules, is the setting of the same text by 2 different composers. I mean, when you're talking about coming at the music cerebrally, do you find that Handel and Bach are very similar to you, or are they different?
I start the same, but I approach them differently. For whatever reason, I think it was ingrained in me from college, was I always sing my Bach count singing. And then I really understand the dance and how the parts intertwine with each other. And for whatever reason, that is my key to Bach, is I count sing it. I can hear and feel the dance of the music better than when I put the words on it at first. But then once I've ingrained the count singing in, putting the words almost is just like, it just glides right on over the top, and it just works perfectly. And that works so well with me for Bach, especially choral movements, which we'll be doing, not with chorus, but with the soloists. And it just, I don't know what the magic is, but there's magic in count singing.
And then for Handel, what's your approach?
I do a lot of listening at first to get like the groove of how it's meant to go, and then I put away the recordings for a long time. I find where it pulls me, and then I go back to recordings and kind of figure out if I was on the right track, because I don't want to copy what someone else does. I want to find my own voice in the music. And it's a lot more exploratory for me in Handel than it is with Bach. But I think that is also the nature of how they are both written, because I think Bach is written in a more, they're both instrumental music to me, but I think Bach is on a slightly more instrumental level, to where it needs that other love and care that I do with that, compared to Handel, which, I don't know, almost Bach seems more cerebral and Handel is more emotional to me. And then I can dance between the two.
I mean, I think that's a very apt statement, that the Bach is. It's more instrumental, cerebral, calculated, and Handel was this great lyricist and emotional,
Totally.
lyrical writer. Although now that I've said lyricist, I do have to ask you about one thing. In the Handel Hercules. He writes in poetry in rhymed couplets, but as we know about Handel, English was not his first language. And so I'm always a little bit, enjoying the rhymes that were meant to be rhymes. So you see them on the paper and it's like, oh yes, love and grove rhyme, or blood and good rhyme. Do you notice that when you're singing as well?
I do when I'm first learning it, because I will pick wrong words that make more sense to the rhyme, and I will be unable to read what is on the page. Sometimes I will just read the wrong word.
So, you did mention that you are a young singer. So how is it that you and Matthew cross paths and that we have the opportunity to hear you on the Ars Lyrica stage?
When I have to side note, basically, since I grew up in Iowa, I knew nothing of things outside of Iowa. Like, I knew of 2 grad schools in my mind of where I could go, and I went to my alma mater. So, and then all of a sudden I landed myself in Houston. And so Brian Speck, who I worked with at Houston Grand Opera, he was like, we should have you sing. We should just have you have a coaching with Matthew Durst. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to sing with Ars Lyrica, because I knew immediately what it was as soon as I got to town. And I was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. I need to be there. And then we just had like a really nice hour-long coaching, and I think we just gelled. I think we have similar cerebral minds about this kind of music, and can have good chats and even better collaboration. So I had a blast during the Bach. As I was so sad that this show got postponed, but then what I got a good end of the deal in that, because I got to sing one of my favorite. I can't pick between the two, but my favorite composer, Bach, last year, and so I am so thankful that relationship started. And so I'm ready to go for Ars Lyrica now.
That's an incredible story, Leia. And we can't wait to have you back home here in Houston too, after your time with the HGO studio and then coming back in the middle of everything. So what a triumphant return to have you on stage with us at the Hobby Center.
So excited.
We are too. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time at Center Stage.
See you soon.